Yeah, Cubs, man, are
I
good.
like the Cubs. What was that? Opening day. Welcome back to the Bill and Will Show. We got a fill in for Gibson, my boy AB, man. What we going with next?
I think let's try and go with let's get a little skinny Melo going in here.
Skinny Melo.
Let's go
Anytime
Skinny
on this show, anytime we have Melo in the news, we got to talk about him.
Yeah.
That's my boy, man. I love Melo since he was in college, man. I think he was a stud at Syracuse. I think he's a stud now, man. And his ups and downs, I love to follow the guy. So anytime we can talk about Melo, we do. Let's talk about his slender new look, man. How do you feel about it?
Dude, the Rona. I mean, people took some time off during the Rona. They kind of took some time to lay back. You look at Melo, man. He done did some work. Did some work in the off season, and especially during the Rona season. You look at him right now, his body shape, dude. He not only is he skinny, but he thick. Like he built, man. He's looking probably arguably the best he's ever looked in the NBA outside of his rookie season.
Man, a lot of people came out of the Rona with a few pounds on them.
Yep.
And Melo, he took a couple of pages out of Duncan's book.
Yep.
Came back slender. Hopefully, he's moving back to his 3 position, and hopefully he can run around with those 3 guys. Here lately, when he was in the game 3 years before, he couldn't match up with the other small forwards on the floor. So hopefully, with this new look, man, he can go out there and compete with those threes because he's gonna need it, man. Dealing with those guys over there with LeBron at the 3, and with if he goes Jason Tatum, if he goes to the finals, and just players like those calibers getting switched off and having to guard 2s, and sometimes just having to guard 4s. I mean, he can do it, but we all know Melo's not a defender, people.
Yeah.
He's definitely a bucket getter. And I just love seeing Melo just try to conform to get back into the NBA, which he did, and trying to stay in the NBA. He's trying to stay in the league, man. And this new skinny Melo, you had hoodie Melo, you had USA Olympic Melo. You just got different Melos, man. I love it, man. He's definitely one of my favorite players. Man.
Yeah, and I'm a Laker fan, but anytime you get to see Carmelo Anthony, you just know what a pure scorer he is.
Mm-hmm.
Him and James Harden, like whenever they get the ball in their hand, they're looking to score.
Exactly.
Now, I mean, Melo's gotten older, so he's been looking to dish a little more, but it comes with age. But he's got a great pairing there. He's coming off the bench some games and stuff like that playing with daviinDavis. That's a great guy to play with. You know what I mean? I'm saying you had a little experience playing with Dame.
I did, just a little bit. He's definitely I think them missing Trevor Ariza makes him. They're gonna put him back into the starting lineup, which is great for Melo. I know he hates coming off the bench. He's one of those guys. I know he hates coming off the bench, so it gets him back into that role of playing the 3. And I'm looking for Dame them to do some work, man. They gotta catch the Memphis Grizzlies, or at least tie with them to go into a playoff game, and we'll see how they do it against John Morant. But I think Dame is ready. I think CJ is ready, and I think Melo is ready. I think they can make a push to get. I hope they can make a push. I would love to see Dame versus LeBron in the first round.
Yeah.
Even though I think they fall in that matchup. I think Dame can get a game, maybe 2 games.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I did. For me, Anthony Davis is the scariest person over there at the Lakers, man.
No, and I mean, we're talking about a guy who's really in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. He's just a stone wall up there, man.
Yeah.
You drive in the lane, you're not getting too many layups against that kid. So
It's a good thing Dame got a range of 30 out there, and Melo can shoot it, and CJ can shoot it. So hopefully they got a shooter's chance out there. But man, skinny Melo, I'm liking it.
Yeah, no, and people, we're talking about Melo here, but don't forget about C.J. McCollum. There were a couple games last year where he was just dominant. He outscored Dame Dolla a few games, and that he's one of those players that kind of flies under the radar. But then we saw last year in the NBA playoffs where he just took off. He just took off 30, 40, 50 point games and stuff like that.
He can definitely score the ball, man, for sure. So Melo, watch. We're gonna see what you can do in the playoffs, man. In these upcoming games, are you looking forward to the playoffs?
I am.
To the regular season?
I am. I'm looking forward to. Players are in the bubble. They're in Orlando, and we just saw today they tested all the NBA players. Zero positive COVID-19 tests. So obviously. Incredible news in terms of sports coming back, so that kind of goes good up my alley. We're going to see some basketball here in the next few days, and with opening day coming up on Thursday and Friday, and things are starting to come back. Things are starting to come back, which is what we all wanted. And we know the U.S. is still the world leader in COVID-19 cases and deaths and stuff like that. But having the bubble in Orlando and seeing zero positive COVID-19 tests, that couldn't be any more better news for sports coming back. We saw some live baseball games over the past couple of days. The Yankees and Mets were live a couple days ago, and then the Cubs, White Sox were live last night. So I think we can go ahead and say that we're going to see some NBA basketball coming up here in the near future. And
the 23rd, preseason start.
Yeah, and that's the fact that we're going to see basketball again. Just I feel alive again. So we're going to be able to see some live NBA basketball, and then I'm still pulling for my Lakers to pull through here. So
I have to give a big thank you to TBT tournament. Did you watch any?
Yeah,
of that?
I did. I watched a little bit of it.
I think you could have took a little bit. I think the NBA was watching that also, so they probably took a little bit from that to see, and they actually finished, and that was a great tournament also. So they were at the forefront of it, and that was a good tournament. So hopefully that they took something from that, and we can continue this no positive test. Continue with that, and I know some players has left the bubble like Zion. And,
he had to attend to
Beasley
family
and
matters.
other people. But hey, continue it, man. It's serious for sure.
Yeah, and I think that the discipline part of it's so easy to go to maybe try and go out of the bubble to get a pizza or something like that, or go and get a bite to eat, or go out and trying to get some fresh air outside the bubble. But the players, I will say, the players have done really well with this. So I'm proud of the players for staying disciplined throughout this whole thing, and taking one for the team, even though they're just literally just staying in there and playing video games with everyone else. So we saw Jimmy Butler was in his hotel room. He was dripping in sweat. He got he got a noise complaint at 3 a.m. and an officer showed up at the door, and he didn't even know whose door it was at first. But officer came up or security guard came up and knocked on the door, and he's like, "Yeah, sir, we've been getting some noise complaints." He's like, "Sorry, I was just dribbling the ball and doing." He was doing suicides in the hall at 3 in the morning. So that just goes to show you the work ethic of Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, for sure, Jimmy Butler. Keep getting them buckets, baby. We see why you get buckets. So I love Jimmy Butler.